Today, I want to take you on a journey into the heart of a really vital cultural institution, the Ganesh Barney Jain Research Institute. We're going to explore its incredible legacy and, well, a pretty urgent challenge it's facing, one that puts a whole treasure trove of knowledge at risk. But let's kick things off with a question that really gets to the core of this whole story. Why is it that some treasures of knowledge, books that hold decades of wisdom and research, are just completely out of our reach? It's a question that leads us right where we need to go. So, our story begins at a true center of knowledge. And I don't just mean a library. This place is an active hub for research and publishing that has played a huge role in keeping Jain philosophy and history alive and accessible. Okay, so picture this. Nestled in the historic city of Varanasi, we have this national-level Jain Research Institute. Its significance, though, goes way beyond its location. It's really a beacon for scholars all across the country who are dedicated to studying this ancient tradition. And what's all that dedication led to? Well, this one number, it says it all: 52. The Institute has published 52 different books. That's a monumental effort that's contributed so much to the field. But as we're about to find out, there's a lot more to this number than you might think. An institution like this doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's born from a vision. It's built on the legacy of its founder and the mission that kicked the whole thing off. The year you need to remember is 1971. This is when it all started, when the institute was established by the visionary scholar Pandit Pul Chandra Jain Siddhant Shastri. His big idea was to create a lasting home for these incredibly important works. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? The mission was never just about collecting texts. It was about actively preserving them and, this is the most important part, sharing that knowledge. It was all about making wisdom accessible, not locking it away in some dusty room. All right, so what does this ocean of knowledge actually look like today? Let's dive in and check out the treasures that are currently available, all thanks to that original mission. What's really amazing is just the sheer range of knowledge we're talking about. You've got everything from a personal autobiography like Mary Jivan Gatha to foundational philosophical texts like Tattva Artha Sutra, which is like a cornerstone of Jain thought. This table is just a quick peek, but it really shows the caliber of work the Institute has preserved, written by some of the most respected scholars out there. And you gotta keep this in mind. Of the 52 books they've published in total, 39 are available to buy right now. So those titles we just saw, that's just a tiny fraction of the rich library you can get your hands on. But this is where we get to the heart of the problem. Because while so much is available, a part of this amazing heritage is, well, it's fading. It's a part of the treasure that's currently locked away. So here's the crucial point, this contrast right here. On one hand, you've got the majority of books that are in print and totally accessible. But on the other hand, a really significant chunk is amprakya, unavailable. They're out of print. That means no new copies are being made, and this knowledge is effectively cut off from a whole new generation of readers. And these are the specific titles we're talking about. Look at this list. From the first 4 volumes of Varni Vani to the first part of the history of Jain literature, these are not minor works. These are essential texts, 12 of them, that are currently completely unavailable to anyone who wants to study them. This brings up a really critical question. What actually happens if these books are never republished? It means huge gaps in our understanding, broken links in the chain of knowledge, basically a piece of our intellectual heritage that could be lost forever. But this story doesn't have to end with a loss. Not at all. There is a clear opportunity right now to save this heritage, a way to make sure these books get back into the hands of readers and researchers. The Institute itself has made the situation and the solution crystal clear. In their own words, these need to be republished. For this, financial support is expected. The path forward is laid out. The need is urgent, and it's direct. So, you're probably asking, what can I do? Well, it breaks down into 3 very clear, very actionable steps. First, just by buying the books that are available, you support the Institute's ongoing work. Second, you can give direct financial support specifically for this republication effort. And third, you can just contact the Institute directly to learn more. And for anyone who's feeling inspired to reach out, here is the direct contact information for the Institute in Naharia, Varanasi. This is ground zero for this vital mission to preserve and share knowledge. And that brings us to our final question, which is really a question for every single one of us. Are we going to be the generation that just lets this knowledge fade away? Or are we going to be the one that steps up to make sure it gets passed on? The choice and the opportunity is ours.